I met an interesting couple this morning in divorce court. You know, a 10-year age difference doesn't sound that big, but when the younger one is in her early 20s, that difference can bring a couple right into divorce court.
Divorce court is now in session.
Ms. Lena Williams and Ms. Crystal Williams, you two are married. You have been married for several months?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. How many months?
We got married June 26th.
So,
and,
we're not far into this thing.
Your Honor, we've been together for 5 years.
You've been together 5 years,
yes,
but you're in divorce court after 2 months of marriage, and we're gonna get there. Now, you made a little bit of history in Ohio. You were one of the first gay couples to get married in Ohio. They had, the TV was there and all of that kind of stuff. Tell me a little bit about how you got married then, why you were one of the first ones to get married. What went into that decision?
Well, I didn't personally set out to be one of the first couples. I didn't really even know what was up on the ballot. I worked third shift. I got a text in the morning when I was still asleep saying it passed, and I texted my friend back, said, what passed? She said, gay marriage. I said, wow. I said, okay, well, I turned over in bed and I woke her up. I said, it passed, and she couldn't believe it. We started, getting on our phones and looking on social media and confirmed. And I said, let's get dressed and let's go do it. I mean, we're not gonna, let's just go do it. So we went down and got married.
Now, there is a difference between the ability to do something and the wisdom to do something. Do you believe that you failed to really understand and do the work about what it is to be married because you got so excited, and rightfully so, about the ability to be married?
Well, I feel I really wasn't excited at the ability to get married because I feel like me and her have been living as a married couple, doing the normal things married couples do. It's just we didn't have the paperwork. Mm-hmm. So I felt like we were just going down for paperwork. I mean, we've both conducted, regular.
So you were married for all intents and purposes. You just didn't have the legal piece of paper to do it and the right to do it.
We've had a household,
My understanding is, however, you were really dogging her out for a good portion of the relationship. Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor, that is true.
Explain to me the nature of your dogging.
Well, for the first 3 years, I was not faithful to her. When she met me, she knew I was coming out a serious 7-year long relationship. So when I first got with Crystal, I was still attached to the woman I was with before and her children. And for the first 3 years, I love Crystal, but I still had sensations that I still want to be with other women. And I felt like if Crystal was going to allow me to do it, I was going to do it. And I knew that she was never going to, I knew at that point I had her to where she wasn't going to leave me. So yes, I did cheat on her with numerous people for the first 3 years.
Ms. Williams, did you know she was cheating on you for those 3 years?
I didn't know, but
you did
I
know.
had.
I mean, you knew.
Hey.
I had the feelings that she was.
Suspicion. Did you ever confront her about it?
A couple of times, but she kept going and going and going.
Why did you stay after being so mistreated for 3 solid years?
I really didn't even know. It was just the feelings was attached to her, and I pretty much packed my stuff and moved out so many times I lost count. Mm-hmm. And I just kept coming back and coming back and coming back because she kept calling me, texting me, I love you, come back, every time.
You really have nowhere else to stay. I mean, we lived together. I mean, you really did. I mean, I pretty much,
did whatever.
You took advantage of what she didn't have. She took advantage of her vulnerability. She didn't have anywhere to stay. She was significantly younger than you are. She had been somewhat sheltered. So you just took advantage of that, correct? I mean, that's what you're telling me.
In other words, yes, but I loved her at that time. I loved her.
I didn't say you didn't love her.
I loved her, but I just wanted, I would say, sidelines. I wanted women on the side. I didn't want to be with those women. I didn't want to move in with them, but I wanted, because she doesn't like to go and do things, I wanted a companion to go and do things with. So yeah, I mean, I did what I did.
Did you ever feel bad about hurting her?
Your Honor, I don't know. I did and I didn't. I did, morally that's wrong. Mm-hmm. And then at times I didn't, because I don't know, I just didn't care. I mean, I just didn't care.
When did she stop seeing that other woman?
She stopped seeing her after I finally gave her a taste of her own medicine.
And how did you do that?
Cheated on her.
Was this an ongoing cheat or was this a one-time thing?
One-time thing.
Okay. And when you found out about it, how did you respond? How did you react?
Well, this happened, I want to say probably about 2 years ago, going on 2 years ago. The people were supposed to be mutual friends, and the fashion they went about it, I was hurt because it was a couple, it was a man and a woman. So at that point when I found out I'm questioning my wife's sexuality and everything, and these were supposed to be people that I was supposed to be friends with. So I'm like, if okay, you cheated on me, I know, I'm gonna give you a pass, but you didn't have to do it with so-called friends, and that's what hurt the most. So when that happened, I was tore up.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I was tore up.
It's interesting how a serial cheater for 3 years who put her woman in a position to feel vulnerable and weak and less than important, you have this, but her cheat was so bad because it was somebody I knew.
Friends. I mean, I cheated with people that she didn't know. I mean, she treated with people that
so that doesn't make it,
you know, and then
I mean?
a couple. I mean, come on. I mean, it was a low blow. I was like, I was not only hurt, I was embarrassed because it was just.
And you don't think she was hurt and embarrassed and torn up for 3 years?
But she could have left. She could have left. I wasn't, holding her hostage. She could have left all those years.
She knew I wasn't strong enough to leave.
Well, I mean, that's not my fault. I mean.
Wow. Mrs. Williams, why did you marry her? To me, she's probably a decent person, but she doesn't seem to be a very caring person. She doesn't seem to hold your needs and desires and your heart in high regard.
Because after I cheated on her and showed her her own taste of her medicine that she did to me for 3 years, she finally woke up and realized, and that it told me to myself that maybe she did change, maybe she's ready for this, maybe she's ready to settle down, but I'm not 100% sure. I keep worrying about if she's cheating on me, worrying about where she's going, who she's talking to, or who she's texting.
I can't even go to the store, Yeah. Where are you?
I question her every
You
time.
bought that, though. You paid for that. I mean, the distrust.
I did. When she did that, she thought I was going to be over and done with. I begged her. It was weird because she was the one that cheated, and I'm the one begging you. Look, I want to be with you still. Because I'm thinking back in my head, I done done so much to this girl, But I changed it. I stopped going out to clubs, stay at home, try to change everything, respecting her more, showing her more attention. But there's still issues. There's other issues.
And we're gonna get to those.
If I want to go out with her, she always wants to say, oh, well, we can invite this person with us, and then we can come back to the house and drink and party and do all this. And I'm like, why can't we just be me and you?
Have you been living together for years but find that splitting up is as complicated as getting a divorce? Call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Divorce Court. You say now that you're married, though, all that is stopped, but that your wife is starting to let things go a little bit. She's taking it for granted. She's not dressing up. She's not holding up her end of the marriages. Too comfortable. Explain that to me.
Well, I'm not asking for a wife that wakes up with makeup, heels, but I mean, we go out to eat. We, really don't cook much. We go out to eat a lot or go here and there, and she doesn't. If she could, pajama pants, gym shorts, and I'm very attracted to my woman. The way she looks now, I wish maybe once a week she would look like this. It's not as far as being attracted. I love the way she looks, but I'm the type of person I try to keep up with myself. I do clothes and other. I have to go shopping and pick out her clothes. If it wasn't for me shopping for her, she would never get nothing. This woman works hard. And she just I just wish that she would just spike it up a little bit.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a press operator.
A press operator.
Yes.
So that's physical.
Yes.
That's physical work. She says you don't dress up for her, that you've kind of let yourself go. Do you agree with that?
No, because she saw how I dressed before we seriously got in a serious relationship before. She knew what she was getting into, and this is who I am. And she, ever since that, whenever I was with my ex-girlfriend, I used to dress up, do everything. And whenever I got with her, I was still getting over that relationship, and she expected me to keep dressing up, keep doing this and that, just to keep my spouse
Well, why
happy.
did you dress up for the old girlfriend,
That's
but not
right.
the
That's
new
what
one?
I was thinking, Judge. I'm sorry.
And not the new one.
Because I really didn't even know. Because she was still
First
messing.
love.
She was still
That was her
messing
first love.
around with her ex-girlfriend at the same time.
Right. Right.
And I
Let
found
me
this-
ask you this question. Do you like dressing up or do you like being
Yes,
cash?
I do. But if she don't want, if she just wants to sit at home, invite people over, and do this and that, there's no point of always dressing up if we're always at home.
Let me ask you this. You mentioned people coming over the house, and it seems to be a problem with you that she has people coming over, drinking, hanging out, and you don't like it. Tell me about that.
I work Monday through Thursday. I want to at least spend time with her by myself. It don't have to be every weekend, but like I want every week, every other week for me and her. But it doesn't seem like that. If I want to go out to dinner or go out to the movies or go do something with her, she always wants to say, oh, well, we can invite this person with us, and then we can come back to the house and drink and play cards and go party and do all this. And I'm like, why can't we just be me and you?
Do you compromise on what you like? I mean, some people like to do A and some people like to do B, and that's perfectly fine. People have different desires. But is it always you get to do what you want to do and she needs to come along? Or do you ever say, hey, I'm not into what she wants to do, but I'll do it because I love her?
Yeah, I compromise for her. We're off 3 days a week. We work 4 days and off 3. So on Sundays, it's usually our chill day. I cook. We do what she wants to do. Well, on those other 2 days, I do want to get out, socialize, and I want my wife by my side. I don't want to be by myself. I want my wife to be with me with going to these things, but she doesn't. That's not what she wants to do. Her ideal of a good night is go out to eat, come home, and sit and watch TV. You know, I mean, that's okay, but I like to get out and experience life. I mean, you would think for me being 10 years older than her that I would
She would be the one wanting to run
she would be the
around.
spunky one,
Right.
but it's the other way around. And I say, Crystal, I mean, you got to live life. I mean,
Whenever she calls me all types of names, it just brings my character down a little bit. Like, what's the point of getting up so I can hear her bring me down every day?
Do you think Crystal was too young to get married? Call now to vote. 855-70-DIVORCE. That's 855-70-DIVORCE. You'll receive some exclusive offers. If you would like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Divorce Court. I'm going to say something to you in a minute,
Yes, ma'am.
but I'm going to talk to her first. Are you unhappy? Are you depressed?
No, I'm happy with her, but whenever she...
I'm not talking about with her, just how you feel
I'm happy.
personally.
I'm happy personally, but whenever she calls me all types of names, it just brings my character down a little bit. Like, really, really down. So I'm like, what's the point of getting up so I can hear this and hear that of her bringing me down every day?
Yeah, I understand. Do you understand what she just said to you?
I understand what she's saying, but I feel like she's exaggerating. I do not bring her down every day. That's something I've been working on because there was a point. I didn't compliment my wife. I said things, that I shouldn't have said to her. So that's something I can admit that I need to change. But she does get her when she gets mad, she calls me this, that, and the other, bringing up stuff from 3-4 years ago. So, I mean, I'm more guilty at it than her, but she does say things that hurts me. But then that's something I do need to work on because I do, I'll say, oh, you this, that, and the other. And I know that does hurt her feelings, but I say that because...
You got bully tendencies with a little side of jerk going on. Seriously.
I'm just outspoken.
No. I'm not talking about being outspoken. I talk louder and more than you do in any circumstance where I'm passionate about it. But let me tell you what you do when you beat somebody up for 3 years. And you beat her up emotionally for 3 years by having her and somebody else with her, knowing that she was too weak to leave, didn't have anywhere to go, and all of that is just beating her. And then you're going to turn around and say she's all weak and depressed. That's because she's been beaten for 3 years by the woman that she loves most. And her self-esteem has gone to nothing because that's what you chose to do, because you had the capacity to do it, and you simply did. And you know, if you throw somebody off a balcony, they break 9 bones. You can't just say, well, now bop on upstairs, I'm not going to throw you off anymore. The bones are still broken.
You're right. I agree with you.
Yeah.
You're right.
In divorce court, people tell me the most intimate details of their lives. Join the conversation and share your experience on our Twitter page @DivorceCourt and on our Facebook page. See how fans deal with their own relationships. The discussion can get heated. Don't miss it. When you tell a person who is weak and fragile, every time you argue, I'm going to leave you, that's like pulling the rug right out from under her. Everything else you say nice that day doesn't mean a thing because she thinks one wrong thing and you're gonna bounce. And that to live in that type of insecure environment is devastating. You need to be woman enough to say, she's got these issues, I'm going to help her. You need woman enough not to bully her about what she ought to do. You need to be woman enough to do more things that she wants to do to help her bring her out of her shell instead of just demanding and commanding that she do the things that you want to do. You got to be a better person.
And it takes 2 to do that.
No. It takes one person to be a better person. I'm not saying it's going to fix the entire relationship. You've caused most of the trouble. You've been the biggest bully. You've done the most jerk stuff. You need to change.
That's fine.
And when she changes, you start to flower. You start to grow. You start to challenge your weaknesses. And you become happy and you become full. And don't become full because she loves you. Become full because you are beautiful, because you're intelligent, because you're working, because you're making money, because you're surviving. I want you to feel good about yourself, that even if she disappears tomorrow, it'll be sad. You'll cry, go buy a hat, then move on. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the more comfortable you feel about your beauty and your ability and your strength, the better off you'll be, whether or not she figures out how not to be a bully and a jerk. You want to take the bed, the TV, the living room set, 2 cars, and Crystal to give you $650 for a deposit on a one-bedroom apartment so you can start over again.
When we get in an argument, she's saying, get out. She locks me out. So I say, well, I've been looking for apartments here and there because we get in arguments and she kicks me out.
Do you both work?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you both make the same amount of money, or does one person?
Yeah, we make the same amount.
You make the same amount of money?
Place,
yeah. Is this a lease that you're on, or is it a house that you own that you pay a mortgage on?
No, it's a lease. We're both on the lease.
You're both on the lease. So you want kind of half the stuff if you're going to go.
Yeah, but it's because I'm tired of getting this threatening. She'll kick me out, or she'll leave and she'll put a chair in front of the door, take a picture, and text me like, "Haha, you're not getting in now." I'm like, well, you know what? I need to look for sufficiency or 1 bedroom or something. I'm tired of being threatened.
Let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold this matter in abeyance because I think you can fix it. It's been 2 months. Do you know what I'm saying? I think I'm going to send you to a therapist to get you started, but you need to believe me. And if you start acting a jerk again, put the tape on so I can holler at her again and she can see what she's doing wrong. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
But if you want to go, you get ready to go, but I'm not doing anything about it right now. I'm going to give you another chance at it. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
There will be no recovery in this matter. It is so ordered. Just like I told Lena, if you're married to someone, your job is to make them feel bigger, better, and stronger.